From the moment I met you, I had already broken the code.
What jutsu is that? The guy is really a ninja. So guys, how are you? I hope you are well. I am the Monio, the interdimensional demon who reviews the most Ninja Kamui episodes, and you are on my channel. Episode 4 of Ninja Kamui was a little less frantic compared to the first 3, and this episode has some flaws in my opinion. Let's talk about that a little. The episode begins with our protagonist receiving a call from an anonymous person offering to help him break into AUZA, and he decides to trust since it would be impossible for him to infiltrate the company without help, and he decides to trust the person, which given the circumstances, it is a very interesting decision by the anime's direction, as this can be used both to introduce another interesting character, being a possible ally of Higen, and to maintain the mystery and make a plot twist with the person's identity. And already since the story is based on revenge and conspiracy, this type of element is interesting in the narrative. One thing I didn't like was the lack of development of the character Mike Morris, who has a somewhat cliched character archetype, very similar to other characters like Bata from Ghost in the Shell, a guy who is extremely committed to his work, and who has absolute and unconditional loyalty to the protagonist, and in the case of Mike Morris, we have a scene that shows him losing his daughter, who died in an accident, and his wife is very angry because he is always absent, and not there to support her. And I'm not demanding that he has a big and complex development arc, in which the character will give new meaning to his existence or anything like that. What I'm saying is that the scene of his daughter dying has little function, since it causes no change in Mike. He doesn't question things, he doesn't consider giving up, he doesn't reevaluate his priorities. There isn't any kind of conflict that justifies this scene existing, and if there is, it isn't shown. And this is supposed to be something very heavy, which would change the character, but the scene serves much more to justify one of the lines he will use later, that he has nothing left to lose. And it's worth remembering that he is working clandestinely of his own free will, as his boss says in previous episodes that he was exempt from his formal work, and could stay at home until his retirement date arrives. Also remembering that he has no personal reason to be involved in Higen's case, so I thought they did something very drastic, which had little bearing on the narrative. Another interesting scene is where we see what appears to be the leaders of the ninja clan, in a meeting with the guy who is apparently the president of the megacorporation AUZA, and who for some reason reminds me a lot of Mark Zuckerberg, but anyway, he has a secretary, who is apparently also his bodyguard, and from what has been said, she must be extremely strong, and is one of the characters I'm most looking forward to seeing in action. Also present at this meeting is the guy who seems to be the leader of the clan, and we have another character that caught my attention, which is the woman who is wearing a helmet that covers her face, which reminds me a lot of those villains from Metal Gear. This is another one I'm looking forward to seeing in action. We also have the flashback scene telling how Higen became a ninja, and we can see the scene in which the clan leader at the time says that he and his 2 companions would receive secret ninja arts, and that they shouldn't tell anyone about how it's this power, which makes me wonder how the clan itself wouldn't know what this ability is. This is because one of the goals of the guy who is probably the current leader of the clan is to find out what Higen's secret ninja art is. But how does he not know if he was present at that time? What I can imagine is that they implant that device in the person's body, and that each individual develops the unique power that not even he himself knows what it is until he uses it, and that's why no one there knows his abilities, not even the clan leader. Another interesting thing is that Higen trained with the woman who would become his wife, and also with another guy who was his friend, which forms the traditional Shaolin fighting trio, and we also see the moment when Higen declaredly breaks the code, declares his love for Mari. The episode ends with the sequence of the invasion of the AUZA headquarters, which is very cool and very well animated, and the episode ends with the unexpected confrontation with the guy who seems to be Higen's ex-training friend. The question that remains is, was he the mysterious contact who guided Higen there? Will we have another character being introduced into the story? I thought it was a great preparation episode. It didn't have as much action as the others, but it develops a lot of things that will be used in the next episode, like Higen's fight against the Reaper. But what about you? What did you think of the 4th episode? Leave it in the comments, and if you liked the video, subscribe to follow the next content. Until next time my people, demonic hugs.